Dish. I'm way up on it. Beep boo doo bow. Scooby doop squab up doo. Skibby dip sub up dabba. Hubba hoody. Hubby. Howdy. Hra hra hri hri. Hello? Ooh, that's good. Hello. That's good.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. My Alexa's going to go off while we're doing this.
That ain't cool.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you.
You got to get rid of that thing.
What?
The home assistant.
Why?
Because I think it's the creepiest
I just burped
thing.
in the mic just a little bit. I'm sorry.
You did that last week too, but I didn't
That's right.
actually record it.
Thank the Lord.
That's disgusting.
Listen, the one last week was like pushing out like bleh. And this one was just like a little quiet one that, you just do in the back of your throat.
Yeah, did you blame one of your kids after you burped last week?
Probably. Pete!
Yeah, that was something I feel like my mom did growing up. She would let out a disgusting, roaring belch. I hate that we're opening the show talking about this again, but she would let one go and then just yell one of our names and then think it was funny.
We don't want to admit that we're just as disgusting as men. With our belching and farting and being gross and stinky.
No, you're talking about being a woman. I thought you were going to say parents don't want to admit, but yeah, sure.
Well, what is a parent but a woman or a man?
Well, everyone, I'm not saying embrace it because it is one of the most disappointing things that I found in life that we're filthy animals.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say embrace it, but there's no escaping it. We're all just gross beasts, exhaust pipes, pushing out various gases from various orifici. I don't know if that's the actual plural.
I think it's orifices.
It is.
Orifici. I think that's what it is.
I want it to be orifici.
That sounds like Wi-Fi and oh wait, I was gonna say hi-fi. Yeah, it sounds like it's like if Wi-Fi were also like hi-fi.
Remember Hi-Fi Buys?
Yeah.
It was like the rich person's Circuit City.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Hi-Fi Buys, they were always in malls, right?
Were they? And now they're all just like cell phone stores, like repair stores now?
I don't know. I mean, Hi-Fi Buys, I don't remember having any standalone stores. Maybe
I don't think they did.
But they always had the bigger stores outside of the department stores. Those were the biggest. But the bigger stores in the mall. It's like, whoa.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of like Circuit Cities, I think. Wait, no. I'm thinking of those little... I feel there was another kind of electronics store inside malls. And they all changed into like cell phone repair stores.
I don't know.
I don't either.
You're saying it was a specific...
It seems like all of these types of stores that were in the mall somehow went out of business and then changed into cell phone repair stores.
Yeah, I don't even know what's in a mall anymore.
Nothing. Just, half dead people walking around.
Do they still have those stands in the middle of the mall?
Yes. And they still try and stop you. You're like, hey, baby, come here, baby. You need lotion for your face, baby.
I feel like my grandmother worked at one of those, like started her own. There were at some, I don't know what this was.
What'd she sell?
Beer steins from Germany.
Did she import them?
Yeah. She had the hookup. She was German.
Yeah, but just because you're of a nationality doesn't mean you have the hookup for something.
Yeah.
Like if we went to Germany and then said, I got the inside scoop on American hot dogs.
Yeah, we would.
How? You wouldn't have it now?
You write back a letter to your parents and say, give me some of those American hot dogs.
Not enough to sell in a store.
Look, maybe it was reparations because she was Jewish. And maybe the German state had to send her beer steins.
Sure.
Maybe that's where she got them.
I don't need the money. I want product.
I remember there was one time I went to visit someone who I'd met on a cruise ship, like when we were 17 in Miami. And, we're kids, so obviously I'm going to the house where the parents live, and my mom gave me a beer stein to give as a gift. I was like, I don't want to give this. This is so weird. So I just left it in my bag and never gave it to them.
Aw, I bet the parents would appreciate it.
It's a weird, I mean, look, the fancy ones are hand painted and they've got scenes. It's fine. I think it's a weird thing to just, here, thanks for having our son stay at your place.
No, I get it. We don't want to go empty-handed.
Well, yeah, but there's probably other things you could have sent. I don't know what.
Yeah. Not a beer stein.
Hebrew National.
Yeah, because you got the inside scoop on American hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. That wouldn't be the case.
Man, a hot dog. A Taco Bell would be good right now.
Gross. You're disgusting. You're a disgusting person
Look,
who wants Taco Bell.
This time during quarantine, when I've actually been eating at home more than I've ever eaten at home before in my life.
Yeah.
I feel as though there's room, though. If you're going to eat out, just go all out. And do it
for Taco Bell?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just make it as awful as you can.
Hmm.
Go to Taco
why?
Bell.
So you don't even enjoy it? Or you feel like it's delicious garbage?
I think Taco Bell tastes fine.
It all tastes the same.
Give me that mush taco
Yeah.
and that mush burrito.
Disgusting.
I want the mush beef taco and the mush beef burrito and the mush potato burrito and the mush chicken chalupa.
I like the crunchy fried chalupa thing.
Oh, those get mushy too if you let them sit for too long.
Ew. But then you know what? Like the greasy stuff gets into the chalupa and turns it extra orange at the end.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. From the beef.
Yeah.
The beef grease.
So I would get the beef chalupa and I would get the nachos with the little cheese on the side and then the itsy bitsy teeny thing of sour cream. It was the smallest container I think that one could purchase. And I don't know why they're so stingy with the sour cream.
Well, sour cream's a commodity.
No.
Yeah.
Even at restaurants, like at Mexican restaurants, if you want like a side of sour cream, it's on your bill.
That's what I mean. Compared to the other ingredients, it's not a cheap thing. It's a commodity.
Why?
Hot sauce, whatever. We've got million
salsa,
gallon tanks of hot sauce.
Salsa is made with multiple ingredients. You would think that would be something that they charge you for.
It also has a longer shelf life, I bet. Salsa, depending if it's in a sealed jar. You can keep sour cream sealed, and if you let it sit for too long, it's still gross. It goes bad.
Now you just scoop off the top layer of mold, and you're good. I mean, what is it? What is sour cream?
You know what?
Except delicious.
Blows people's minds at Chipotle. I see the reaction in people's eyes all the time. If I'm going to do sour cream, I forego the cheese. I feel like, why not? Just cut some of the calories, get rid of one of the dairy things.
Yeah.
And you're going through the production line and they ask, you want cheese? No, sour cream only. What?
No, I feel like that makes sense.
But this reaction they get,
Yeah.
or they give.
They give it to you on the side. They're like, he's going to want cheese.
No, they don't give, but the eyes widen. Mm-hmm. They light up. Jaws drop. What? No cheese? No, I don't want the cheese. Cheese. Half the time I like cheese, but I like eating it plain. I don't want it on things. Even sandwiches.
Oh yeah, you take them off the sandwich.
Yeah, because I want to taste the cheese.
You can hear that in our sandwiches episode with the infamous Lucky Yates.
Oh, did I bring it up in that? Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry.
Now I'm repeating myself. How much time do you have left on this timer? So I want to
Alexa,
start.
how long's left on the timer? You have 16 minutes left. 16 minutes left.
All right. Well, we can start the show.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry.
Be interrupted because why is the timer going off?
Because I'm rising some dough, some chocolate. I think it's babka.
The dough can sit.
No, it has to be. It has to chill for like an hour or something.
Okay.
So I have to rush it over. It'll take 2 seconds. I'll just throw it in the fridge. I've already made the sauce ahead of time, so I wasn't. So what you're supposed to do is put it in the refrigerator and then make the sauce. But I've made the sauce ahead of time, and now all I have to do is just throw it in the fridge, the dough.
I stopped baking.
Yeah, because you saw that everybody else was baking. And it made you feel
Look, you were baking before, so you can continue. But
okay.
everyone,
Thank you for your permission.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's me not judging you is what you get. It's not permission.
Oh, okay.
You can do whatever you want, but you're not going to get judgment. But everyone else has become a baker now. And I saw this. I saw all the posts, all the blogs. Look at me. I've been wanting to. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah. I saw someone on Facebook post their picture of their sourdough. It was like, my first attempt at sourdough. It was delicious. And it was a boule, right? So it's like a ball of bread. And it was so flat. It was like the size of like a thick book when it's supposed to be this beautifully domed, huge piece of aerated bread. And so I looked through the comments and someone said, like, looks pretty flat. It was like, but it was delicious. And I am not that kind of baker. Like, I don't care if it's delicious. I'll say like, well, at least it was delicious and that's fine. It tastes good, whatever. Who cares what it looks like? But when it's something, I don't know, when it's something about baking and bread especially, it's like it has to be right. And if it's flat, it's not right. And I don't even want to look at it because I've spent so much time like coddling temperature, figuring out this dough, and then for it not to turn out exactly the way I wanted, it just is like a slap in the face.
Well, you're trying to learn the trade.
Yeah.
And other people just throw their crap on the internet and want some approval for it.
No, they didn't get mine. They got my quiet judgment, my silent judgment.
What's something people don't know if it's good or not? I mean, the majority, like cross-stitching.
Wine.
No, there's plenty of people who are so invested in wine.
I know there's a lot of people, but they don't know really whether it's good or not. They look at the price.
No, you don't want to come across those people who actually know. Will judge you.
Okay.
Cross-stitching. I'm just thinking of something to take up.
Oh.
No one knows what good cross-stitching is.
Yes, you do, because you have eyeballs and you can judge whether it looks good or not.
What do you even use cross-stitching for other than to make, things to hang on the wall?
Tchotchkes?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a little design on clothing originally.
Okay.
Maybe you would like cross stitch something. Oh, I bet you would cross stitch something, and then you'd secure it all off, and then you would cut around it just so like that backing would stay on, and then you could like sew that onto a piece of clothing. I bet you that was the originalization of it.
Okay. Then maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
either.
that sounds lame.
I think I'll just continue to sit around and do nothing.
Okay, sounds good.
And drink at 7:00.
What time is it?
Well, as we're recording this, it's past 7. It's 7:40, but I'll start later.
Okay. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ, and it's going to be hard to get into this show because I know that timer is coming.
Yeah, it's like a panther waiting, stalking us.
You have this timer set because you're going to have to stop our show when we're deep in thought to go put some bread dough in a refrigerator. How much time is left?
Alexa, how long's left on the timer?
You have 12 minutes left on your 2-hour timer.
12 minutes.
12
All right.
minutes.
We can kind of get into it,
All right.
I guess.
Listen, if it goes off, we'll stop her from going off. You can keep talking. I'll run to the fridge. I'll be back.
I don't want to keep talking.
Just blah, blah, blah. I'm not listening anyway, so just keep talking.
That's true. I know that. You're just waiting for me to take a breath.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to say what I want to say. I'm not really listening or playing off your ideas.
So let me tell you about this amazing thing that happened the other. No, we don't actually play well together. I just said you're waiting for me to take a breath. And then I said, let me tell you about this amazing thing that happened. And I took a breath, and that's where you're supposed to jump in and start just talking about something else. But you didn't.
I didn't know that.
You didn't follow.
I thought you were going to, this is what I thought you were going to do. I thought you were going to start talking blah, 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 blah. And then I was going to be bored with what you were saying.
Well, see, you drew an assumption.
You're right.
A conclusion. And you didn't actually wait to see what I was going to do. You just thought about what you would do.
Yeah. So I did the thing I was pretending that I don't do.
This is
What's happening? Are we going insane?
No, this is why you're not cool. I'm sorry. Which is going to be this week's topic.
It's your week, Greg.
Well, because you asked me the other day. And so I don't know, this can go anywhere, this topic, wherever we want within the realm of coolness. But I'm starting it out because you asked the other day, am I cool? Did you ever think I was cool? And I thought about it. And I think the answer is no. And I don't mean that as an insult. Obviously, I've liked you for a very long time. So
Yeah.
there's many, many redeeming traits. Like there's a lot of great things about you. But I don't think there was ever a point in my life I thought, Autumn's really cool.
So much of my life, I've wanted to be cool.
And I think that you can sense that.
Really?
I was like, wow, Autumn just wants to be cool. And she plays it cool. And she lets people walk all over her and dismiss her because she wants them to think that she's, I'm just cool. I'm cool with it all. And look, I hope this doesn't sound mean about any of this because I told you there's a lot of great things about you.
Uh-huh.
And just because you're not cool doesn't mean that you're not a worthy human.
So you're talking about two, and we'll get into all the cool things, like what it means to be cool. There's two ways that we're thinking of cool right now, which is what you're saying, where I want to act cool. What that means to me, what I'm doing is act like nothing phases me. I'm not bothered. I'm not going to cause any trouble. I'm going to be down for whatever because I'm cool. I'm chill. No problem. And that's one type of cool. The cool I was asking you about, if I'm cool, is like, am I, I don't know what. All I can think about is like a look of like looking cool.
Oh, fashionably cool.
Maybe fashionably cool. Maybe also what I'm interested in or what I talk about.
Well, fashionably cool. My answer remains the same.
Oh, I want to be cool so badly. I'm just not cool.
You wear that t-shirt with all the boobs on it. And,
Yeah, is that dorky? You called me dorky.
And you wear the t-shirt with all the Great Lakes names on it.
Yeah.
And which is, look, it's fine. It's your thing. This is not negative. This is not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't dress cool.
There's an inherent thing about you, Greg, that is cool. And I think it's that you're a little aloof. You have these like bursts of weirdness, which make you interesting, but you don't give a lot out to people. And so people want more from you. Whereas I am very much the opposite. I'm like, take all of me. I want to entertain you. Laugh at me. It'll be fun.
We can get into that after your timer goes off. My coolness. And
yeah.
I'll expose the truth behind that. But yeah, what is the desire? I mean, growing up, I guess cool is just the term that's thrown around. Like, I want to be cool. Is there something else you would like to be? Cool and popular go together usually.
Oh, no. No, I don't want to be cool like.
Well, I'm just going back and trying to figure out where the desire for anyone, not just you, to be cool comes from. Like, because cool is it's a thing. I just don't know when I was first introduced to it or why there's a desire. It's because people tend to like people who are cool. I don't know. It just became this thing that permeates society that a lot of people strive for. And I don't really even understand it. Why?
I don't really either. I think what I want. All right. Well, like if I think about how I feel about you describing you as cool, like I said, I feel like you're not giving a lot. Not to say that you don't give a lot, but initially you're not working hard to like get people on your side or with you. You don't care if they're with you or not.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a desirable trait.
It doesn't.
Why is it? Yes, that's what I want. I want to be the person who says F you to every other person. Like it's not a direct verbal F you. It's maybe a subtle F you. Maybe it's not even an F you, but it's like, maybe F you is too strong because that's showing that you do care. You think. It's like, I don't even think about you.
Yeah, that's cool though. That is like, that means like you don't need validation from someone else. You don't need to fit into a group to feel that like you have a place. You have your place. It's the place where you are because I'm cool or because you're cool. And I think that a lot of and maybe this is just like a personality type, or maybe it's something from the way that I grew up, or Who knows? But I feel like a lot of the way that I see myself is by having that reflected off of others. So I think if I were all alone all the time, I don't know if I'd know who I am because I have no one there to like help me understand who I am.
That sounds like you don't know who you are then.
I think that might be true.
At any point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're basing it on what other people... I get it. It's a difficult thing. I have no idea, at least for the longest time, I didn't have any idea how other people viewed me. If you ask me, it's like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I know how I feel inside, and it feels like I'm a gangly, awkward creature. And if someone was watching me move around, I'd kind of be, half floating like a jellyfish aimlessly. And then, also maybe like an octopus with tentacles, like my arms didn't, and my limbs just felt like they didn't move properly. In my mind, it's like I just would see myself on video or in pictures. I'm like, look, it just doesn't look right. Nothing looks right.
Really?
It looks like it all stands out. It's so different than the way other people move.
Okay.
And so trying to gauge. None of that's real. I don't think any of that's real. Maybe. My posture could use a little bit of work.
Yeah, everyone's.
Need one of those braces that people put on their back.
Yeah. Or like those weird little things that they stick in the middle of your back and all of a sudden your back is straight. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but this bringing up posture is besides the point.
Okay.
Like that's not what
posture is not what makes it cool.
No, I'm just saying the way I would look at myself. I wasn't like, what bad posture? It's
right.
It's like, wow. So, there is this point that I got somehow where people like, seems pretty cool. No, not at all. But again, I can't get into that because this looming timer, which is not cool.
Oh man.
Wait, how much time's left?
Alexa, how long's left on the timer? 3 minutes. No time to get into anything.
No, I mean, okay, we can get into this. When I say you're not cool, I just
Okay.
mean in the traditional sense. Obviously even your baking, that's cool.
I don't feel like it's cool.
Baking's become cool.
Yeah.
And you were doing some baking before the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah, that's true. I found out that I'm decent at following recipes and them turning out well.
Here's when you're coolest, when you're doing the things.
I didn't realize that people couldn't bake. I thought like, this is not a skill. You're just reading and following directions. And then it turned out like, oh no, people have difficulty baking. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, I was saying you're coolest when you're doing the things that you actually like to do because you're not thinking about how is this going to appear to someone else.
That's true. It's not like I do certain things so that other people will see it and then reflect onto me that I'm cool or that I reflect onto me anything. I don't do it for the purpose of that. I just think that I don't really know what it is until I see it through someone else's eyes. And I think, oh, okay, maybe this is seen as uncool or maybe this is seen as cool. Like I have trouble dressing myself sometimes. It's like, I don't know, just t-shirt and jeans. I don't know. And then there are other times, like people have like a style. What is that? How do you find your style? Not to say that t-shirt and jeans isn't a style, but I don't know. And I'm also having trouble with like being a mom, not in general. Like I like being a mom, it's fine. But I just mean like how I look. I don't want to look like a mom. And I just can't help it. I just look like a mom sometimes.
Well, you are a mom.
I know. I just don't want to look like a mom. I want someone to look at me and be like, oh, that's a person who is a mom. Not like, look at that mom.
That's like saying, if I lived in a dumpster, I don't want to be a person that looks like he lives in a dumpster. I could take steps to offset that maybe some people who lived in a dumpster wouldn't do. Like maybe I would brush my teeth often.
Yeah.
Or comb my hair.
Keep your clothes outside of the dumpster.
But still, ultimately, people would say that guy looks like he lives in a dumpster at some point. So I'm just saying as a mom, and I'm sorry to compare being a mom to,
Yeah, that's a poor comparison.
a grouch who lives in a
Yeah.
dumpster. But the point remains, sometimes you can't escape it. I don't know. You have other things that require your attention. So
Yeah.
you neglect yourself a bit. But, amongst moms, you're probably a cooler mom.
Thanks.
What are you striving for? Let me ask this. I think being cool is completely overrated.
Yeah.
And we just have to give the definition of, hold on, how much time's left on this?
Alexa, how long's left on the timer?
You have 10 seconds left.
10 seconds. 9,
Okay.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not cool. This is not cool. Any cool points going out the window right now. Interrupting our podcast for bread. 2 seconds, she said. I'll be right back. 2 seconds is all it will take. Should have set a timer on Alexa. Timer for 2 seconds.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
How was it?
It was good. It had risen a bit. I'm making a chocolate babka. It's an enriched dough, so it's really weird. It's different. It's fun.
So it's coming out all right.
Yep. It's going to chill in the fridge. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
What? What's going on? This is unbelievable. Just continue talking, she says. I've lost all train of thought.
Alexa, start a timer for 2 hours. Okay, now I'm definitely back.
What time are you going to be able to go to sleep?
I don't know. What time is it? It's almost 8.
And what happens after the 2 hours?
I don't know. I think
It's in the fridge now.
I think now after that, it'll just be rolling it, shaping it, and baking it. So maybe 50 minutes after the 2 hours. So we're looking at 11.
Okay. Well, anyway, trying to get back on the topic.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
And the whole train of thought has been thrown off.
Okay.
You want to be cool.
Yes. Now, when you say cool, I'm not thinking about high school cool. We're look at that guy. He is all right, sorry. I'm worried about the sound. He's he's someone who is like a jock, and he's cool, he's a cool guy. What I mean is the adult version of cool.
Which is?
I don't know, you?
Well, I'm not cool.
Your ex-girlfriends?
My ex-girlfriends are cool.
Yeah.
Who?
Jessica?
She's cool?
Yeah.
How so?
There's, again, it's it's another thing where it's they aren't tap dancing for you. Not to say that they're cold, but there's something about them that's interesting. And the fact that they're talking to you, you feel a little bit cooler because they don't seem like someone who gives just everyone the time of day or all of their effort. I think what it really is that I don't have a lot of boundaries sometimes. So when I'm interacting with people, just somebody at the 7-Eleven, I want the guy there to think that I'm really nice, or that was a pleasant exchange.
That's exactly why you're not cool.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think cool people don't do that. And I guess I kind of want to be cooler.
But here's the thing with this perceived coolness with me. It's all bullshit. It was all created to offset a scared little boy who was worried that other people were constantly judging him and would, kick him to the curb. Not like people who love me, but growing up, I know that you don't want to focus on high school cool, but that's where it begins. You want to fit in, and I already told you my views of myself. It's I don't know. It's just I don't feel like I fit in. It's awkward. I have these thoughts, and that sometimes when you have thoughts that are strange that other people don't know them, but it doesn't feel like that all the time. It can feel like everyone knows, everyone can see what's in my brain. My coolness was a whole creation to keep people from making fun of me, getting myself in a situation where I'd be embarrassed or ashamed. And it wasn't just, I didn't sit down and think about it. It is just the result of various mechanisms put into place to keep those things from happening, just to try to be as invisible as possible. And yes, look, along the way, I think maybe what offsets me, and I hate saying this because I don't think I'm cool, but what offset or set me apart from other people where that's pretty obvious was I was somewhat self-aware, and then I would start throwing some of that out there. Like, well, he just said something that seems relatively vulnerable, so therefore, he isn't really hiding. I was like, yeah, I'm just hiding in plain sight is what I was doing. The whole thing, here's quite often I have said things that are wrong, I'm mistaken, I mispronounce something, and people think I do it on purpose because they think I just will do things like that for the sake of doing it. Maybe I'm testing them. It's like I didn't set out to make my existence confusing for other people so that if I did something wrong, they think, oh, he's actually testing me. And then they say, ah, ha, ha, good one, when really I had made a mistake. But this is I'm bringing this up as a way to illustrate where this has gotten. There are times when I'm so stupid and say something and people think that I did it on purpose when I didn't. And I'm protected though. I'm protected in that moment because the person doesn't know. And that was at times making it difficult I got to that point by making it difficult for others to read me. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what he's thinking or what's going on.
So you are putting something out in front of you for people to see so that if anything happens to that projection out in front of you, then it's the projected version of you and not the true version of you.
Sure. It is complete defense mechanism. If you don't care about things, you can't be hurt. It's like, I don't care about that. It's like, all right, well, I'm not going to go after him because what am I going to do? I can't do anything because he doesn't care. And I care. That's why I think coolness is bullshit. And I know that there's different things here. You're talking, about style and stuff like that too, which can get lumped into
that goes into having a better sense of who you are. And then, I don't know, you find your style,
Yeah, I feel like I've become much cooler when I finally just put myself out there. I was like, yeah, this is actually who I am. And fire away. What you realize is if you are comfortable with yourself and people do shoot at you, even if they hit you, it could still hurt. But ultimately, it's like, okay.
I mean, there's a lot of me that is fine with myself. I mean, if someone tries to come after me and it's not real, I don't get super defensive over that. If I do get defensive, it typically is because maybe they're a little bit right, but if it's definitely not right, then I'll be like, who cares? I really think that our show is really good. And then when you see a negative review, it doesn't really affect me because I think like, oh, that's just not true. What they're saying is not true. And maybe for them it is true, but for me it is not. And so I don't get defensive. When they do give us a negative review and it's something that maybe I'm insecure about, then I'm like, oh, fuck them.
See, when I see a negative review, I think, man, we're found out. This person is perceptive. They know what's really going on.
They see through your projected version of you.
Well, it's not projected anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not projecting. Like on this show especially, I'm not putting myself out there in any way other than I am. I'm not trying to be cool. So look, if someone thinks I'm cool for whatever reason, then okay, then maybe that's real. But again, I feel like cool to begin with is not anything someone should strive for in the sense that society says it's desirable.
And that's not what I mean. I'm not trying to be cool because society says you should be cool. Maybe what I'm seeing in people who are cool is that they have a better sense of who they are. And maybe I'm having some sort of like,
Midlife crisis?
I guess.
No, I'd say that, but whatever. People struggle with this their whole lives, so
Yeah.
I don't want to assign it to that.
I don't think it's like midlife crisis. I think it's that my kids have gotten, they've aged out of that stage where you're constantly worried about whether they're going to kill themselves or not accidentally. They're a little bit easier to be on their own. You can trust them a little bit more. And so maybe I'm starting to see myself and say, who is this person? Why do I look like this now? What are these clothes? Are they actually clothes that I want? Am I comfortable in these clothes? And then also, I guess that is fighting with feeling like I'm looking like a mom, which makes it look like that's all I am. And there are people who that is all they are, and that's their choice, and maybe that's fine, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But for me, it is not the only thing about me, and I want to make sure that that is seen for some reason. But I guess if I were actually cool, I wouldn't care.
No, you would care for yourself. I think the definition of cool that is cold and uninterested.
It's not exactly.
No, what I'm saying is this is the way people perceive, like that's bullshit. That's not anything to strive for.
You're right.
And then when people actually, as you get older and people say, I just stopped caring what other people thought. And I do think that comes into play. And that's probably when real coolness comes in. And maybe that's why people think when you're younger, cold and uninterested is cool. It's like just being, that person doesn't care what the other people think, but the person's not being anything.
Okay, but
they're just being, hold on, they're just being a person who doesn't care about things, which is not cool. That's like, you're not being yourself. You're just not, you're falsely not caring, or it's fabricated. So what you're saying though, as a mom, we can just focus on parents. Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? Mm-hmm. So you get lost in it and you neglect yourself for a little bit. And then you look in the mirror and you say, what's happening? Who am I? Where did I go?
Yeah.
Or in your case, maybe you never even knew who you were fully. And, wanting to figure that out and have an identity outside of being a parent. Yeah. Maybe that's where coolness lives. It's your own. The coolness is, I don't know, I just want to be myself. And I am still important, and I'm not just a mom. My identity is not this. So I want to figure out my identity and be true to myself, and therefore then you can be cool.
Maybe I'm feeling uncool right now, especially because I'm in the suburbs. Not to say that the suburbs are a bad place, but there's not a lot out there for me to do that's outside of parenting. And so maybe that's why I can't. Because when I was in Zoffyville in Atlanta, Georgia, living in Midtown,
which is not cool, by the way, but this apartment complex was an old.
What do you mean? What's not cool?
Midtown's not cool.
Midtown's cool. It's gay Mecca.
Okay, fine.
Okay, the yuppie
you just
part
painted
of
me
Midtown.
into some awful corner. It's not what I was saying. I was thinking of those towers that overlook Piedmont Park. Oh, that's cool.
No, but this was when all of those houses on like 12th, I think it was at 12th, and down there, all of those little houses were still there. Now all of those are torn down, and they're building those big blue glass towers everywhere. So this was back when things still existed.
Where you lived,
yeah,
amongst those towers, that's cool. The reason I say the people in the towers aren't cool is because they're still trying to prove something to other people.
Right.
That's when they're, look at me, I live in the tower.
Yeah.
But then again, it's all subjective. Maybe that's what they wanted.
Sure.
To me, cool is, I don't know, I found this place with character and some age, and there's culture, and this is where I like living.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I loved living there. And I lived there, before I had Ellie, and we lived there for about a year. We lived there for a year after she was born. So I was a mom there. I was a mom of an infant, a baby, and a toddler. But I felt cool. I think because I had an identity there. I had a bunch of friends that I lived around. We went out in the courtyard and we had fun and we laughed and we drank, and there were things to do that involved me that weren't just around parenting. And I mean, you can't do anything around here without it being like parents doing this, like, oh, women going, trying to get together. Like I tried to get a group of people to go and do something once a week. And they were like, well, maybe once a month. I can't do once. I'm like, why? Can't you get out of the house? Can't someone help you? Like, are you the only person who can like get your kids' teeth brushed and put them in bed? You're the only person who can do that. You can only go out once a month. So that's my frustrations. Like I want to meet other people who are interested in leaving the house and getting together and talking about other things besides like how their kids are doing. I'm interested in how their kids are doing, but I also want to like talk shit about someone and be gross with each other, and it not be like, oh, did you forget what it's like to be a person before you had kids and were married? Do you remember that person? Could we go back to that person a little bit?
Maybe they didn't have identities. I don't want to, make such a blanket statement for everyone, but maybe a lot of people, like my identity, their identities do become parent. The kids are extensions of them at that point, and the kids can fill holes in their lives. And maybe you're just drowning in a sea of uncoolness, and now you're starting to doubt yourself. Like, I don't know if I'm in the middle of this. There's no way I can be cool. Or it's made you question who you are. And you said you ask other people to go out and do things, and they say no. Well, I mean, okay, maybe once a month I can go do that. And, that's going to make you question the things you want. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not cool. So, overall, I know I said you aren't cool, but that was in the most traditional sense of the word.
Sure.
Of the cold and uninterested.
See, I hate that we started out with the cold
It does,
part.
because that's ultimately what I think people think of when they're cool. And the progression here, don't get caught up in that.
All right.
What's worrying you about that? I'm just setting that up when I said, no, you're not cool. I didn't mean it as an insult, but you were always, this person.
You said that I dance or something.
When you asked me if you're cool, it's like, no way. When you do your weird little dances, it's like no cool person would do that.
I know.
But it depends on your perspective of cool. Like if you're looking at cool, which I really think what cool is you just being comfortable with yourself and who you are and doing the things you want to do.
Then I guess
dancing.
I'm cool.
Yeah. I keep bringing up the one definitions because when I said no, that's what it was falling into.
I feel like when I first asked you about whether I was cool, I was thinking about people and what they look like and how they look cool. And when someone looks at me, I don't feel like I look cool.
Well, the people who you're talking about, some of my friends in Atlanta who, their careers are in the art scene. And so some of that is, but here's the thing. None of that I feel as though fake or out of character for these people. It's like they've just figured out who they are.
Yeah.
And they fall into that. Like, I don't know. This is who I am. I am a person who has an asymmetrical haircut. And maybe you have to make the choice to do it in the first place. And maybe you're not comfortable when you're trying to figure all that stuff out. But as you get older and as we all get closer to 40, like I think that the people who are still doing it, at least the people I'm friends with, it's like, yes, that fits who they are. But, maybe that's not who you are.
It's not.
Yeah. So that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not the only definition of cool. You can be chic and stylish. And for some people that works. For a lot of people who act like that, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You are trying way too hard.
Yeah, but there are some people it just fits.
Yes. And, for that, they're cool. But it's not a point of comparison for you. Like you thinking about, well, I'm not a person like that. It doesn't mean that you're not cool.
I think what it is, I'm looking for something. And what I need to look for is me. Like I need to it's not, I don't need to be looking for something specific, or I don't need to look a certain way. I just need to be. I really do think that I think that those things, those feelings of being uncool would change if I had more in my life, like more interactions outside of parenthood, you know? And I think that that would change how I feel. Even just like looking at my clothes and, you know, what I feel about my clothes. Maybe I would look like a mom, but I would also know that I just had a bunch of interactions and experiences that were outside of being a mom. And then I would know that this is how I look right now, but it's like cool because I'm actually this.
Okay. So it sounds like you've got to figure it out.
I guess so.
I mean,
but I have to put that into place, and that's difficult to do here.
Yeah. Well, you can get on the message boards, or you do that already.
Yeah, but all those people are all moms.
Yeah, there are message boards you're already on.
That's on those message boards. I tried to get something together, and they were like, once a week.
Well, what's something you could do that doesn't require face-to-face interaction that you enjoy? I'm just thinking of a way, like, I don't know if there's some...
No, but I can do all those things. I'm a social, like, I want interaction.
I understand that. I'm thinking while you're, though, having difficulty finding people who want to do things that you want to do or have any interest in anything outside of their lame existence, which is empty and is one day going to leave them feeling like they wasted their lives. There's got to be some place somewhere with some people, and even if it's online with not, creeps. I don't know. What else do you like to do?
Well, I like baking.
Mm-hmm.
I like crochet.
These are solitary activities for the most part.
Yes. I like getting together. That's the thing. It has to be something where people get together.
Okay.
It's not, yeah. Well, especially right now, we can't do anything.
Yeah, we're relearning.
Yeah.
We got our virtual happy hour.
I know.
Cheers!
Well, I scheduled something with my, friend Michelle and Anna. Anna's is in Georgia and Michelle's in Tennessee. And Chattanooga. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I got really afraid that Chattanooga wasn't okay. So yeah, I'm scheduling something with them next week for our virtual happy hour because I need the interaction. I need it. I need to be with people who know me. What I would like is if there were a service or something like those dating apps where you can match with other moms who want to do other things.
Bumble has a best friends thing.
Yeah.
You can match with those other people to be friends with.
All right. Maybe I need to get on Bumble.
Yeah. But then it's probably abused. I don't know the way that one works. I know the way the dating part works. I'm going to say dudes always abuse things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, of course I just want to be friends.
Well, no, I wouldn't hook up with a dude.
I want to be friends.
Yeah.
Only friends. That's why I'm just here looking for a best friend. I'm not saying you would. I'm just when I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
In generalized terms, I feel like those things they really are always abused. Dudes find ways to fuck everything up because they want to get laid.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's pathetic. It's the least cool thing.
That's very uncool.
It is uncool.
And women can smell it on men.
Yeah, and they ruin it for all men. Like people, maybe there would be a guy who just really wanted to be friends, and it just so happened that he matched with a woman, and like we can be friends, but the other dudes do ruin it.
But it is hard. I think it's hard for men to try and be friends with women, especially like meeting new friends.
Sure.
Like that's crazy. That's almost impossible.
I mean, I guess it depends. I think reaching out on an app and meeting someone random, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
If you, sorry, I felt a sneeze coming on again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
COVID.
Spread it. Get near me. Which you can't even sneeze. Sneezing's not even a symptom.
I know. It's not even part of it.
But I mean, if you sneeze, it carries in all those droplets, and I understand why people don't want to be around someone who's sneezing. But I think there's a misconception. He sneezes, he has it. It's like, yeah, whatever. People have to sneeze sometimes. If they sneeze politely, then leave them alone. Anyway, I forgot. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. It was off topic. I was saying if you met someone organically through work or something, then I'm sure you could drum up a friendship.
I know, but then there's always, especially for women, there's always a suspicion that the man wants more and that you're afraid to really open up like you would in a real friendship to the dude because you're afraid you're going to give him mixed signals, then he's going to start to like you. Or...
This is one of the things that I think made people think I was cool.
Yeah.
I've turned down so much sex. Like, nah. No. And it was for two reasons. One, it's to offset what other dudes do. Mm-hmm. And that's for a wrong reason, because that's just me trying to prove that I'm not something.
And what is that?
Which I am not.
An animal?
Yeah, well, I'm not another guy who's just so blatantly trying to get laid. Mm-hmm. So, go to the opposite extreme. I was like, no, but there's a desire to, be close to someone and have sex. That exists. It doesn't need to.
Have you turned down sex that you've actually wanted, but then were making some sort of point by refusing it?
At times, but there's been plenty of times. This is the other side of it. Is I am a person who's like, nah, I don't. I mean, we're drunk. This has been a long time since I've been in a situation like this, but it's like we're drunk and we could have a one night stand, but it's like I don't enjoy any of that. So no. Or if there's someone I go on a date with and I like them, back in the day, and we ended up going back to my place or her place on a first date, quite often I wouldn't want to right away. I don't know. There was something for me. It wasn't this idea that I needed to prove. It was probably both. I mean, things aren't always this black and white. But, there was the part of me. It's like, I don't know. I like you. And I don't feel like if we go out again or we continue to go out, there'll be plenty of time to have sex.
Sure.
I don't need to do it on this first date.
And that would make her like you more.
I think quite often it did. Mm-hmm. That wasn't my intended.
Right. You weren't manipulating the person into liking you more by not having sex with them.
Well, some people were offended too.
Really?
Yeah. And some, what? It's like, that's nothing to do with you. Stop taking it. I mean, sometimes that had to do with you, but I'm not going to see you again, so I don't care. Uh-huh. But, there's times you like someone and it goes well, and then you don't, and then they can't understand it. But yeah, I guess an unintended result was, wow, he's really cool. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe there is some coolness there because I was being myself. It's like, this isn't the most important thing to me right now. Mm-hmm. And look, that's where it lives. You just have to figure out who you are and be yourself.
Yeah. I'll work on it. I am working on myself.
Yeah. You know who you are. You do the things that I said make you not cool are the things that make you cool.
Hey.
Do your stupid dances and
yeah. Describe me, please.
Me describe you? No, I don't even know. What does that mean?
Tell me what you think about me. Like, what do you see objectively?
When? Now?
Yeah.
Back
okay,
in the
sure.
day?
What about back in the day? When we knew it, like early on.
Yeah, I thought you were somewhat of a weirdo, which to me I liked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, what a strange person.
Why was I weird?
I don't know, because you would do your weird things.
Oh, okay. I would say you were a weirdo also, but it was because you would do those sounds. You'd be like super loud and crazy, and you would make, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah, what I'm saying is there are things uniquely you.
Okay.
That you would do. And it's like, yes, okay. That's you. That's cool. There are the parts that is, as I said, that, I don't know. Sometimes I felt like people would walk all over you and you'd let them because you didn't want to disrupt.
Because I wanted to be cool.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Treat me like shit. That's not cool. It's the least cool thing.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just so easy to get along with and I'm not going to create any problems or any trouble.
It's hard for me to do that now. Yeah. It's hard for me to quote cause trouble when I'm not really causing trouble, but I've established myself as someone who doesn't really speak up. And so when I do, it's like a little, I don't know, it seems like it's too much because I've just never done it. And I've trained the people around me to like be able to do that.
That's the wrong definition of cool.
Yeah.
I just want people to think that I'm fine with everything.
Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to worry about me. I will never cause trouble. I will never. And even if that means not sticking up for myself a little bit, I'll be like, I'll let it slide for a long time.
Yeah. And then that was something it didn't make me think less of you.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, whatever. When we were younger, anyway, I was so wrapped up in my own self. wasn't thinking too deeply about these things with you. But I think back.
You weren't thinking deeply about me back then.
No, I can't say that. I mean, as deep as other people that I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to figure your own shit out,
Mm-hmm.
and you are pretty self-absorbed.
Yeah.
And people, move out of that at different rates if they move out of it at all. But, yeah. I was like, I don't know. Autumn's doing her thing. Sure, let her do her thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we got along. I feel like we got to be ourselves with each other.
Definitely.
And those noises that you're saying
Mm-hmm.
that I would make, that I even really do those out in public sometimes, I guess. There was a weird thing is that sometimes I did put on an act and be weird on purpose because I was weird. I felt weird. I would do things like make noises myself. I was like, man, if people really knew that this existed, they would think that guy's really strange and I don't know what to think of him. But then, as I said earlier, my whole coolness, I would take some of that and then put it out in the real world.
Yeah.
But it'd be exaggerated or something or whatever. Or maybe it wasn't exaggerated. Maybe it was actually, I was holding back a bit. I was like, here's a little peek into this. And then it gave people the impression that I was, oh, look, he's being weird, but he doesn't care. But it's like, I do care. I'm deathly afraid you're going to find out who I really am. So I'm just going to give you this little bit. So maybe it throws you off the trail and you won't dig deeper. It's like, look, oh, he made some noises. Okay, I'm not going to ask any other questions about that. It's like, yeah, good. You'll never know what's really going on. So,
Man.
yeah.
It's a lot.
But it's fine.
What about now?
What do you mean, with me now?
No, with
Or
me
you?
now.
No, it's all about you.
This whole episode's about me being cool.
I don't know. You're the same.
Just the same.
I feel like the things that we talked about are things that you're exploring now yourself and, trying to improve yourself. And you already know who you are. Like when we talked earlier, it's like, maybe you don't know who you are. I think you know who you are. Just be who you are.
Yeah.
And that stinks. You talked about your situation living in the suburbs.
That's what I mean. I think I've lost a little bit of the ability to like hold on to who I am because
you feel alone in it. You're like, oh, I'm going to be myself. Oh, well, no one around here is going to get that. So
yeah.
then you become a little reserved and you stop doing it. And then you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Or you still know who you are, but you think that you can't be that person and you need to be someone else. And
well, because when I am myself and sometimes around other moms or parents, like they don't get it or they think I'm like the wild one.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
And that feels like,
I'm sure a lot of those uptight parents.
Well, they're just always around their kids, or they're around other parents who are also just around their kids. So like everyone is saying like potty, like I'm going to the potty, or like instead of like I'm going to the bathroom or something, or weird little things where it's like they've forgotten what it was like before all of this happened.
Maybe, but you don't know what those people were like before. So you can't say that.
What I imagine is that they thought about that time as like, this is my time to be wild and to do all these crazy things. And then I'll settle in. I'll settle down. I'll settle into being a parent. And then I'll be just like my parents, like uptight, only thinking about the house and the family and the husband and the kid, whatever. And for me, I want more of a balance than that. I don't think that I was so wild and crazy and thought like, this is my time to do it. Like, no, I still want to be that. I still want to do those things that I did, not the reckless things that I did before, but just.
I hear you. I think
Yeah.
you're thinking too much about the other people and what they did or who they are, what they're
I'm only
missing out
thinking
on,
about
or
that
how they've changed.
because they're not interacting with me in a way that I understand.
Yeah, because they think that you're a weirdo. I'm sure that they do think that, and I don't mean that as an insult.
Yeah.
I've said that quite a bit. I don't know. I
I don't feel like you're insulting me.
no.
so it's
I
okay.
like you.
I know.
I when we talk about these things, we're just talking openly.
Yeah.
But it's hard to fit in, is what you're saying. So you just need to
Yes.
find people where you can be yourself, and then the coolness is there. Not everyone's going to think you're cool.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's plenty of people who hate me. They do.
Yeah.
And whatever, for whatever reason, if people want to think that I'm overly negative, which yes, I have the ability to be negative, but I also have this other side that is not negative and is actually pretty hopeful and positive, but people don't pick up on that for some reason. And that used to really bother me. And, when you express things, especially with emotion, it's like for me, it's like some of it's the negative stuff comes out more, but it's not all I am.
Right.
I also don't really think it's negative. I think it's like I'm just stating something that's real. And why is this so negative? Are you so wrapped up in having to live this life? Everything's great and wonderful, and how dare you? Shut up, okay? You're not cool. I don't think you're. That's fake.
Wow.
That's your-
See, wait. Now, what you're doing right now feels negative.
Well, it's not negative. Someone who has an inability to admit that a lot of life is shit, and it's because I don't share the other side with most people. The side that, sees the beauty in the world, which it's surely there, but that's mine. I'd still protect that from people like you who will shit all over it and ruin it for me. So maybe that's where I can, stand to grow a bit more. It's like, all right, I'll put it out there and I won't care if you shit on the things that I find to be positive. But right now, the negative thing probably is a leftover relic of, again, it's part of me, but it's like the part that I'll put out there. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to come after me for stating something that's true and it's negative? Like, I don't hold the negativity as dear as the positivity, so I protect that a bit more.
Sure.
So I don't put it out there. But
Interesting.
the point that I was making is, yeah, you have to become okay. Some people are not going to like you. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't know me and they don't understand, and fine.
And maybe that's what a little bit makes you cool. Is that not everybody, you're not totally and completely accessible to everyone. And so it adds like a little bit of a mystery, or it adds a little bit of like being close to you means that you've given access to this person, and not everybody gets that access.
Yeah,
And so maybe that makes you cool.
sure. I'll take it.
Okay.
Even though if someone writes a negative review, I'll still feel bad.
Yeah.
But it's only because they're right.
See, I feel totally I'm like, they're wrong. They're just wrong. Our show is great.
All right. Well, so there you go.
All right.
I don't think you're completely lost. You just feel maybe
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. I do feel a little alone.
Oh, well, you've identified a problem. You can take steps.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for listening to One Topic. Please like and subscribe, rate and review us on iTunes. Please support hoffandpepper.com. They're shipping out free little mini bottles of hot sauce to anyone that you think would like it with every order. So use our code OneTopic15. I know you'll hear the commercial after this, but I'm betting that you stop listening before the commercial starts. So go do that, please. We'd really...
Sorry, I'm going to jump in. I'm sorry to break your train of thought. The reason the commercial's at the end is because I don't want to open the show with it. And I appreciate Michelle and Hoff and Pepper, and I want to support them and help them. But I know you're right. Putting it at the end, people probably stop listening. Just listen to the damn commercial. Also, I'll start putting it at the front of the show. And I know you can skip it, but then it's more of an active thing that you have to do. So if you don't listen, it's going to be, maybe it'll be in the middle of the show.
So you're saying you're doing it for the listener by
Yes.
putting it at the end. So do us, us return the favor by supporting our sponsor, hoffandpepper.com. Do it. Love you. Bye. I'm not cool. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Autumn.
Do you like hot sauce?
You know, I do like hot sauce, but I'm getting pretty bored of my regular Texas Pete or Tabasco. I'm looking for a local sauce without any additives or extracts. A company that uses local peppers so it's as fresh as possible, and a company that really cares about the integrity of the sauce and where their ingredients come from.
Definitely.
And hey, while we're at it, I don't want a sauce with too many ingredients. You know, a lot of other sauces out there, they have all kinds of fillers. So I'd love to find a sauce with, I don't know, what? Let's say no more than 5 ingredients. I mean, it's crazy, but there's gotta be a company out there that hand processes their sauce. You know, bottling and labeling every bottle themselves. I'm probably asking a lot.
Well, you really are, but there is a hot sauce out there who only uses 5 ingredients.
What?
0 fillers,
Huh?
additives, or extracts, and who bottles, labels, and packages everything themselves. It's called Hoff Sauce.
What?
They're a small batch hot sauce company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that's won Best Louisiana-style sauce in the country. How many times? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
3 times!
How does that sound, Greg?
I think that sounds amazing.
You know how you can get your own bottle of hot sauce?
No, tell me please now.
Hoffandpepper.com. And not only am I giving you the gift of the best hot sauce that you'll ever taste, I'm going to give you 15% off if you use the code ONETOPIC15.
Hold on, that's
Yes, get a pen and paper.
1 topic 15.
Good. That's ONETOPIC 15, all squished together at checkout. You'll get 15% off your order and your life will be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.